Ready to pass the CPA exam faster? Visit cpapass.ai. Today, 5 CPA study mistakes costing you the exam. Why do 50% of incredibly smart candidates fail their very first CPA exam section, even after studying for over 150 hours? It is not because they are not smart enough, and it is not because they did not put in the time. The truth is, they fell into the classic study traps that quietly drain your score. Today, we are breaking down the 5 massive study mistakes that are costing you your passing score and keeping you stuck in this endless loop. If you want to stop wasting weeks of your life on dry textbooks, listen closely to these 5 shifts. Mistake number one is the time equals success trap. This is where you sit at your desk for 4 hours, passively highlighting a textbook and call it a study session. You think because you put in 20 hours this week, you are making progress. But passive reading has a retention rate of less than 10%. Instead of reading for hours, you need to flip the model. Start with 25 MCQs first, fail them, and let those mistakes guide what you actually read. This active recall forces your brain to build neural pathways that actually retain information under pressure. Mistake number two is the simulation time sink. Candidates either completely ignore task based simulations until the last week, or they spend 2 hours struggling through a single simulation, getting completely demoralized. Both approaches are deadly. Simulations account for 50% of your total score. You cannot ignore them, but you also cannot let them eat up your entire evening. Limit your simulation practice to 15 minutes per scenario. Focus on learning how to navigate the exhibits and search the authoritative literature rather than trying to memorize every single layout. Even mistake number three is memorization overkill. Trying to memorize all 1,000 pages of your review course is a fast track to burnout. The CPA exam does not test your ability to memorize every single tax rule or accounting standard, it tests your ability to apply concepts. When you focus on memorizing, you miss the big picture. Instead, aim to understand the why behind the transactions. If you can explain why a debit increases an asset in plain English, you do not need to memorize 20 different journal entries. Keep your focus broad and conceptual. Mistake number four is treating the CPA exam like an IQ test. When candidates fail a section with a 68 or a 72, they immediately think, maybe I am just not cut out to be a CPA. This is a massive mental mistake. The CPA exam is not an intelligence test, it is a discipline and strategy test. Passing is about mastering a repeatable process, managing your anxiety, and showing up for 2 hours of focused study every single day. A failing score is just data. It tells you exactly where your strategy broke down so you can fix it. Mistake number five is studying with outdated materials and ignoring score release windows. With the recent CPA evolution changes, studying with old textbooks is like preparing for the wrong exam. Even worse, candidates study without a clear target score release date, meaning they stretch their study window over 6 months. This long timeline causes you to forget what you learned in week one by the time you reach week 20. Compress your study window to 6 to 8 weeks per section. This keeps the information fresh and forces highly focused, high intensity daily study sessions. Now, to bypass these mistakes, you must implement the problem first study loop. This is the exact strategy used by top candidates who pass all 4 sections in record time. Instead of starting with lectures, you start directly with practice questions. You do 20 MCQs, analyze your incorrect answers, and only open the textbook to research the specific concepts you got wrong. This targeted approach saves you up to 15 hours every single week. You are no longer wasting time on concepts you already understand, allowing you to focus 100% of your energy on your weak areas. Does this strategy actually work? So just look at the candidates who stopped studying 20 hours a week and switched to this active problem first method. We have seen candidates go from failing FAR 3 times with scores in the 60s to passing with an 85 in just 5 weeks of targeted study. They did not get smarter, they simply stopped wasting time on passive reading and started drilling their weak areas with laser focus. When you change your study inputs, your exam results will change. You can absolutely pass this exam if you run the right system. Stop wasting time on outdated study methods that do not work. Head over to cpapass.ai right now to join a community of dedicated CPA candidates who are studying smarter, not harder. On cpapass.ai, you can practice with over 20,000 MCQs and task-based simulations, take full-length mock exams, and pinpoint your exact weak areas before test day. Best of all, you can start completely free with free practice questions every single day with no credit card required. Make the shift today. Go to cpapass.ai and let us help you pass your next section.